Hello, welcome to this overview of the BIZTOOLS SME Needs Analysis product that's contained within the 4 product packages produced by BIZTOOLS to assist accountants and bookkeepers to deliver advisory services to your clients. SME Needs Analysis is very important because one of the problems that I think the accountancy and bookkeeping professions have with SME clients is to be able to sit down and have a discussion about a whole range of issues that probably does not include income tax, at least as the major item for discussion. I know tax is caught up in everything. But it's when you want to sit down and talk to your clients about how things are going. But it's also one of the key ways that you're going to be able to communicate to your clients that you have an interest and an ability to advise them on a wide range of commercial issues. And if you don't fully know a particular area, you would undertake to your client to talk to someone who might know. And it might be a lawyer, it could be a web designer, it could be a security consultant. But you'd be performing a role very similar to what a chief financial officer does in a larger organization, in that they're the go-to person. We'll get the chief financial officer, and he might be the company secretary, or she might be the company secretary as well, to follow through on that. I was the chief financial officer in a public company, and I do know fairly well what happens. I found that if it didn't logically fit sales, marketing, or production, departments had tended to come to me. Oh, can you sort this out, Peter? And give me a report back, would be the CEO's comments as he rushed past my office. This is where you can show your clients that you are able to help them on these other issues. And it might be that you sit down and have a discussion using the guide to get them to openly talk to you. So you need to make sure they're comfortable. Preferably the phones are switched off. I do suggest that you have these meetings in your client's premises, but make sure the phones are switched off. Sit down and have a cup of coffee, or maybe you've invited the client to somewhere else. So I'm just going to share the screen now, and so what you have is the SME Needs Analysis. We've got 3 segments of the package. So as a subscriber, you would have access to what's called the simple SME Needs Analysis. It just means it's not in great detail. This one was actually prepared by Andrew Geddes, one of the founders of the Financial Management Research Centre at the University of New England. And they were the market leaders in this whole concept of accountants could do a lot more. And that was 40 years ago. Andrew then went on to have a brilliant commercial career, and for 10 years was the chair of a top 200 ASX company, Green Cross Limited. Incidentally, a company that he originally advised the person that became the CEO of 35 years ago as to how to go about creating a corporate entity for veterinary surgeons. So this is where you can sit down and talk to your clients and then write down their comments. Now, there's nothing wrong with giving this as a printout to your client, and I've done that with some of these forms. And it's interesting how it comes back a week or 2 weeks later. There'll be a lot of information written on it. There'll be some rubbing out. There'll be some question marks, but it means that the client has put some input into it and thought about it. So how can you improve your business? You and your role, you're happy with your role, or you're sick of it, you want to just go and play golf all the time. What about your team? Is there improvements needed there? What could you do for them to help? Have you got an IT problem? Now, I'm not suggesting that you as a bookkeeper or an accountant are going to solve their IT problems. I know I couldn't, maybe you could, but you would be referring them on to someone who you know can do that sort of work, and especially protection from cyber attacks. What's your client's financial goals? Do they need to improve sales? Do they need to improve their margins? Have they got enough cash? Was it held up because debtors' days outstanding is too high? Do they know what their debtors' days outstanding is? Over the years, I've found a lot of business people have got no idea what their debtors' days outstanding are. Have they got an advisory board? Do they want to know how an advisory board operates? And you will have material as a subscriber to whatever level of ESS BIZTOOLS mentions advisory board. So you can give them some preliminary material. And if you need more, you can upgrade your subscription level. What should go to an advisory board? How do they operate? I think they're a very valuable resource for your clients. How can you minimise your taxes legally? So this is a taxation question. We do have one of them in there. How can you grow your wealth? When do they expect to retire? What's their current net worth? Do they have a plan? What will happen to your family and business if you get sick or die unexpectedly? They've got insurance policies in place. Who would run the business? And then some follow-up action. So that's, and when are you going to bring it up for review? That's a very simple approach. That's what we call it, the simple one, because it's inviting you and your client to sit down and discuss it. And you might decide you're going to memorize those questions and then raise it for discussion. We have also got this next one. Just making sure that you've got access to. So this is the SME Needs Analysis questionnaire, and I'm just going to click it back so that we can go back to the very beginning, current business performance. And this is we insert the comments that you want to your client comment on. How's the business going? They need improvements, and this is very similar to the one we just went through, but it's a lot more information here in a moment. Ratio analysis, are they happy with that? Debtors management, cash flow management, budgets and cash flow forecasts. Suppliers, creditors, anything wrong with them? What about the marketing? You're really going through and looking for what else might be of concern. They've got some issues with Fair Work Australia, where Blackstone Business Group's our advisor of choice in those areas, and we have details of who they are. You can click on. Let's go to the next one, research and development. Do they understand research and development? Do they want to know more? Export. Do they undertake export activities? What are they? could they be doing more? Does he understand they can claim the Export Market Development Grant if they are an exporter, or they're supplying services to overseas visitors to Australia? Capital raising and finance. Are they interested in raising capital? What are they going to do with it? Which type of capital raising do you think might be of interest to them? Crowdsource funding, they can raise up to $5 million in a year. Their turnover has to be under $25 million. Early stage innovation companies is only available for companies less than 6 years, and then there's turnover and expenditure limits. But you're in the position of being able to have a conversation with a client. Let's look at future planning. What do they need? Well, they're going to need a business plan, budgets, cash flows. What's the valuation of the business? How are they going to grow it further? What's their current investments? What's their risks in this business? Let's have a look at those. A lot of risks. Everyone's got a lot of risks. This is the sort of approach that I think you should be looking at undertaking to assist your client to break the ice in a discussion with them so that they can understand that you're interested in assisting them on these issues, and you are looking really for their honest feedback. What does concern them? What does wake them up at 3 a.m. some of the time? And what's worrying them? Now, in the hurly-burly of annual accounts and tax return preparation, and for bookkeepers, probably just the writing up of cash books or computerise the records, a lot of your clients don't open up, do they? They're a bit nervous when they come to see accountants or bookkeepers. It's an area they don't fully understand in any case. But some of these issues we're going through, they know about them. But a lot of them will tell you when you sit down and really talk to SMEs, they knew about them, but they didn't really know who to talk to. They didn't know that Mary was able to advise her on this area, Mary, the accountant. And they didn't know that they could get assistance in all sorts of activities. So this concept of sitting down with some questions, and you could elect not to have that paperwork anywhere near you other than the blank sheet, just writing the notes back down, because you've memorised the questions, you've memorised the areas you're going to discuss with your client. You also know your client, so you start with an advantage because you know a bit about them, but don't go in there with preconceived ideas. Let it flow, see where it goes. And in my experience over the years, every time I've done that, I've walked away with fees far more than the equivalent to the hour that I volunteered to undertake this for a no-fee basis with the client. In some cases, quite substantial fees, because the client decided, yes, we should have a formal business plan, even though the cost estimate was $15,000 to $20,000. That's the benefit you will get by communicating and showing people how you can do it. So over to you. This is part of the ESS BIZTOOLS starter package and the ESS BIZTOOLS advisory intro package, and it's also reflected in our advanced and financial forecasting. So it goes right through. You can use it. I think it's a good idea to make your team members do some practicing on this in staff training, asking questions, getting feedback from someone else, because the more comfortable you become with asking these sort of questions to a client, even in rehearsal, it'll be a lot easier to deliver face-to-face with your client. If you've got any questions, please contact us. I hope that you'll decide to become a member advisor subscriber of ESS BIZTOOLS so that you can really deliver advisory services to assist your SME clients. Stay safe. Have a great day. Goodbye.